Are you taking care of you? One of the biggest mistakes people make when they're transitioning from being an employee to being a business owner is to forget about themselves. They get so caught up in managing their time between their job and all the different things, all the endless kinds of tasks and things that crop up when you're getting a business up and going, that they just simply forget about the fact that the most important piece of the puzzle is actually them, and they need to be looking after themselves and keeping themselves well. Hi, I'm Mary-Anne from One Life to Flourish, and welcome to Making the Leap, which is a series for people dreaming of making the leap from their job to being a business owner. Now, it's nice to be back after having last week off. I wasn't actually off. I was refreshing my learning around access bars, getting my skills back up after having a little bit of time off. And we're back now on track. So this is episode 17, which is funny because it is the 17th of October today. And today I'm really wanting to talk a little bit about self-care. And I'm also chatting with nutritionist Mary-Anne Bennett. Now, before we begin, we do have a little bit of housekeeping. So first of all, if you know someone who is actually in the process of trying to become a business owner or they're dreaming about it, then please invite them over to our broadcast by using the arrow that should be somewhere down below me. Now, also, this broadcast is going live from My Time TV Live, but it's also being broadcast in a few other locations. So just make sure that you're actually on My Time TV if you actually want to be able to interact with us, ask us questions and that kind of thing. So you'll know that if you put a comment in and I don't respond, it's because I'm actually not able to see what you're saying. All right, so just kind of check into that a little bit because we'd love to have your comments and your questions as we go through. So as I said, today I'm really focusing on people who are in that process of making the leap. So not just thinking about it, but they're actually in process, which is a bit like myself. At the moment, I'm juggling a part-time job and part-time business. So if you're starting your own business, then you need to remember that you are the critical piece of the puzzle. You are the thing that makes your business unique. And because of that, it's really important to make sure that you keep your energy levels up so that you can be enthusiastic and present in your business. That's what you need when you're actually getting going. But it is so easy to get lost. We seem to have endless to-do lists around social media, around marketing, around creating our products or services, and around so many other things that sometimes you just don't think about when you're getting started in a business. And because of all of those demands, it can be so easy just to forget about yourself. And, there's so many things that can just kind of send you a bit crazy and send you off in the wrong way. So do not lose sight of the importance of looking after you. You are important, as I've already said. So the first thing is to kind of go, well, obviously I'm going to have less leisure time because I am juggling two different things plus the rest of my life as well. But I still need to make sure that I'm looking after myself. So think about how you can actually manage that. I ended up going out on a limb and reducing my job hours from full-time to a little bit part-time just to give myself a bit of time and space in my business. So you need to make sure that you are still giving yourself some time to enjoy your life, to look after yourself. You won't be able to make much progress in your business if you're constantly having to battle illness and feeling really stressed. So focus in on yourself and think about it as being more than just taking an occasional time off when you go and meet up with your friends for a coffee or you go and have a massage. All right, you actually need to be thinking of doing something for yourself each and every day, but just little things. Just those little things that make a difference so that you can stay healthy. So for me, I've worked out what 3 things are that I really need to do every single day to feel like I'm looking after myself. So they're kind of what I call my non-negotiables. And because I do them every day, I feel more balanced, less stressed. Doesn't mean to say it doesn't ever get out of whack, but I do feel a little bit better. So my non-negotiables are making sure that I exercise every day, that I meditate at least once a day, and that I also just spend a bit of time reading for pleasure because I love reading. So those 3 things together only take about an hour out of my day, and at different points of the day as well. But the amount of difference it makes to me makes it really, really worthwhile. So think about what you can do to actually look after yourself, because it is so important. Now, as I've already mentioned, my special guest for today is another Mary-Anne Bennett, who I've gotten to know really well over the last few years. Now, she is dedicated to helping women with chronic health issues just reset their health, their vitality, and get their life back on track. And she uses a very individualized approach where she'll actually dive into what's happening with your genes, your diet, and your lifestyle so that you can actually create the best plan for your own health and wellness. Because as we know, typically we focus on our family, different roles that we have in life, and we kind of push ourselves to the bottom of our priority list. And what we're going to talk about a little bit with Mary-Anne is some of that experience that she lived through. So she actually had a health crash that ended up sending her off on her own particular search and journey, which led her to where she is now. So we're going to find out a little bit more about that in just a moment. So Mary-Anne is now really focused on just helping women reset their health and understand that link between food, genes, and chronic health issues that we can get. So she has a wealth of knowledge. I always enjoy talking to her just because she kind of blows my mind in a way, introducing me to things that I haven't thought about. So I'd now like to welcome her on board.
Hello.
So welcome, Mary-Anne.
Hello, Mary-Anne.
Yes, I did say it was going to be a little bit weird having 2 Mary-Annes here, but it's all good. So from my introduction, people have got a little bit of an idea of the fact that you have been on your own little bit of a challenging journey. So maybe if we start off by actually going into your background, so looking at what you were doing before setting up your business, and also why you've gone a little bit on the journey that you've gone on in recent years.
Well, actually, it's funny you say that, because I spent 30 years working for myself the majority of my life. I was a subcontract cleaner before my health crash. So I've basically been working for myself since the mid-80s. Worked for a boss a couple of times in between having children. But it wasn't, and what I discovered was I was doing all the things I now tell people not to do, which was I was, highly stressed, had lots of children, worked really cleaning was depending on me going to work, endless hours. It didn't pay a lot of money. So I was basically working. I was basically working a job anyway, or what I call a job, which is just over broke, because I just had to work every day to pay for everything. And what I didn't discover until the early 2000s was the chemicals that I've been exposed to for 30 years were making me sick. So when I finally, my health finally crashed in 2011, and I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, I really didn't know what it was, how to heal myself. The doctors had no solutions. They had medication. I saw, a naturopath. I had acupuncture, but nothing helped me on that to get rid of that chronic pain, the chronic insomnia, the just general lack of energy. And I was only 45 years old. I had 4 kids, 4 grandkids, a wonderful new partner. Life should have been amazing. But the one thing I never ever realised was the one thing that most people take for granted is their health. You just think it's always going to be there, and it wasn't for me. I crashed, and I really didn't know what to do. So I spent 5 years going down this, path of trying to get other people to help me, find a solution. But I really got no help. So I was driving along one day and heard an advert on the radio for Endeavour College of Natural Health, come and study nutrition. And I thought, well, what if it's a couple of days' time, what's that harm of going along? Maybe I could go and learn for myself. Maybe I could learn what it is I need to know about health and the human body, and I could heal myself. I went along on the Saturday, and within 20 minutes I'd signed up to study nutrition. And it was life-changing. It really did help me heal from fibromyalgia, from chronic fatigue. I now don't have chronic migraines, chronic digestive issues, and the whole intention of studying was just to help myself. I really thought if I can help heal myself, I can learn enough to heal myself, then that's fantastic. I had no intention of becoming a nutritionist and opening a nutrition business. I was working for myself by then. I'd given up work and was studying full time. I didn't want it. I thought I could just relax, be a mum now. By the time 4 years down the track, when final year of my studies, my husband retired. So I was under no pressure to work. I really didn't need to work. But what I came to the conclusion was, and we all talk about these aha moments in our business. Well, for me, the aha moment was, what if? What if I could just help one other person heal from chronic illness like I did? How many thousands of people are there out there that are sick and are getting nowhere, going to doctors and practitioners? And I spent thousands. I probably spent 20 or 30,000 trying to get well, and I really didn't get any solution. So it was then I decided, well, I needed to go into business. I needed to open up this nutrition business because I could truly help. So that was why I decided to do it. At 53, I'm going, oh my God.
Yeah. Yes, the things we do, but I think it kind of becomes almost a mission, doesn't it? When you find something that's helped yourself and then you realize that you can actually have an impact on other people. It sort of takes on a different life when you kind of step up, doesn't it?
Well, I guess because I don't remember, I'm not saying I don't remember having a life, but I became a mother at 17. So I realistically dropped out of high school pregnant, and really my husband at the time in the 80s, we bought a business. That's how we became self-employed in the first place. We bought a cleaning business. So I've spent, 70, 80% of my life as a mother. So it was the one thing that I had always done. But I never finished high school, and I really always knew in the back of my mind there was something else I was meant to be doing. I love parenting. I'm good at it. I love being a grandparent, but just there was a missing piece. And when I went to uni and started studying, I was never very good at school because when I grew up in the 70s, there wasn't a focus on going to school, high school, going to uni. It was finish high school, go and get a job. I grew up in the northern suburbs in a really, in a low-income family. It was go and get a job. You either go and got a job or you got pregnant and had kids. Well, I managed to do both of those. But what I always knew I had was a really good, what I understand from my father was a really good work ethic. And working hard never killed you. That there's all, life is good. I mean, there has never been a time when my life has been easy, but I've never been really unhappy with my life. So, but I knew there was something else that I should be doing and I wanted to do. And when I started studying, it's like it unlocked a door in my brain and in my mind, in my body, and I just couldn't turn it off. And I don't know. Now hubby says, well, what about all of our retirement plans? And I go, well, we can still do them. We just have to plan them in between work and business. So, yeah, it's just a passion now. It's not about a business. It's about a passion to help women, women and people help heal.
Yes, exactly. So that kind of brings us around to perhaps a little bit more information about your current business, so how you are helping women, and probably if we talk a little bit also about your workshop that's coming up and some other things with how people can actually get in contact with you. So maybe if you tell us a little bit about, I suppose, your purpose and your mission with your business.
Well, as I already mentioned, my purpose now is to help people heal. Working with nutrition, there's really, when you look at health, there really is 3 areas of people's lives that can affect their health. We all know about, our lifestyle, so our, being active, what we eat, what we're exposed to, what's in our environment. So being around, looking after our body, looking after our mind, having a healthy home and a healthy body. But for some people, it really comes down to, they can make changes in all of those areas, but sometimes it comes down to something deeper. It comes down to what's in their genes. Because for me, I did a lot of, even once I started studying, I was doing a lot of the things that I was learning, but I was only getting well to a point. There was really something missing. And in 2016, when I dared to have my genes tested, everyone said, oh, what are you doing that for? It was like, because in my not just me, there's lots of chronic health issues in my family, in my extended family, my sisters, my children, my nieces and nephews all have varying different chronic health issues. And I thought, what if they're all in our genes? What if they're in our genes? We have mental health disorders in our family. What if all of these are hidden and they were? So for some people, these things are hidden in their genes. So now I help them unlock that piece of the puzzle that's often missing, to get to the really dive down deep. And really it does come down to the basics of what I learned. Is it about the nutrition? Because I now have a program, and I've run a series of webinars this year, and now run a workshop. It's called Eating for Your Genes. So basically what you eat can have an impact on your gene function, which then has an impact on your health. And it's as simple as knowing what food to eat, how to cook and prepare them. And really, it's really simple once you know how.
Yes, and I did your online Eating for Your Genes, which was really interesting information, gave me some different ideas about like how to prepare my food, how to combine things together. So the fact that you've now got a workshop where people can actually go see you, are you going to do some things in the kitchen? Because I know we've got a kitchen where you're doing it. So you're going to do a little bit of demonstrating and that kind of thing. So I think if you are really interested and you've been on a similar journey to Mary-Anne's and mine for that matter, where you've tried all of the things that should work and it's still not quite working, then this may actually give you some answers. Understanding what's happening with your genes can really be quite a revelation. So we've got there in the comments a place for you to go to Eventbrite and actually get your tickets to the workshop, which I've forgotten the date again, so I know it's in the middle of November.
14th.
Yes, that's right. So you've got 4 weeks to go. So definitely, it's an amazing experience to actually go through. And having said that, even going through the experience of just looking at what's in your genes as well is really quite an interesting journey. So anyway, we've probably talked about that. So I think if people are wanting to actually get in contact with you, I think probably through your website is the best way to do that. Is that right?
I mean, I've obviously got a page on Facebook, Adelaide Nutrition and Wellbeing on Facebook. I get a lot of messages
Oh,
through
okay.
there, or through the
Oh, okay.
website.
All
Through the
right. So,
website, contact me personally, Mary-Anne Bennett. You know, I'm always, my partner tells me way too much online, but I love interacting with people. Yeah, it's a fascinating area of interest, and it's not something that a lot of people know about because, you know, people think your genes just make, you know, give you red hair or blue eyes or make you skinny or fat or whatever. We all know that, you know, our parents, you know, the doctor will tell you that, you know, mum and dad had heart disease or diabetes, so you're going to get it too. Well, that's only partly true because, you know, your genes determine your health. It's how you live, how you eat, what you're exposed to in your environment actually have an impact on your genes. You can't change your genes, but you can change the things in your life that can have an impact on them, or that can actually make sure that they work the best they can. And a lot of it comes down to nutrition and what you eat. So yeah, it's a fact. So yeah, you know, connect with me on Facebook and check out my page. It will be wonderful.
all right. So I don't think I actually put in the Adelaide Nutrition and Wellbeing Facebook page, but if they just follow that
Yeah,
name, they should be able to find that.
I'm
All
also on
right.
Instagram and LinkedIn if they want to connect with me. So just Google me and you'll find me.
Yes, exactly. So you're in lots of different places. I think you're also on Instagram as well, aren't you?
Yes. Yep. Yep. Add not
So
well on Instagram. Yeah.
yes. All right. So let's talk a little bit more about maybe giving some people some advice and some ideas for actually getting started in business. So just thinking about your current business, which, you know, we sort of had some different challenges probably from when you set up as a cleaner. So what kinds of things have you found perhaps that's been a struggle or that's been quite easy based on your background?
When I was with the cleaning business, it was all word of mouth. I never advertised. I didn't have a website. You know, once you proved it to somebody, they pass your name on to somebody else. There was never a worry, and clients just came. You know, beginning of 2019, when I set up my business, it was like, where are the clients going to come from? People don't know who I am. I've got no experience in this area other than the experience of helping myself heal. So it was, where do I find the clients? What do I do? Oh my God, the scary social media. Like, it's taken me until the last couple of months to be comfortable posting, because, you know, that fear of looking like you're silly or you don't know what you're talking about, because there's experts on there that know what they're talking about. Yet that has, and it still doesn't come easily to me. It doesn't come easily. Knowing what it is, you know, I mean, nutrition covers so many areas, and you take advice from every man his dog, and they'll tell you, oh, just do this, you know, just do meal plans, just do weight loss, just do this, and sort of kind of you get lost in the stream, and you go, well, that's not really what I wanted to do. And when I really sat down and thought about it at the end of last year, it was, what is it I really want to do? Is that I really want to help people with chronic health issues, and I'm really, really, really fascinated the role genes play in health. So when I finally made that decision, I finally went, I'll block out all the people talking to me and go, this is what I need to do. It hasn't come easy. I'm still working. Even though I don't have another job like you do, Mary-Anne, I'm still highly involved with my children and my grandchildren. My son's divorced, so helping out with the grandkids. He also has 8 grandkids as well, so we've got a very busy life. So it's still those time management issues, because it's very easily, when you're not got a job to go to, and think, oh, well, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll get the business stuff done tomorrow. But you don't always have that. Tomorrow's gone, and then another week goes and you still haven't done all the things you should be doing. So, and one of the best things I did was get myself a business coach. She has kept me on track and pushed me to the limit where I've cried and I've yelled and I've ranted and I've raved, but I'm finally getting the clients and people are noticing what I'm doing and are starting to get interested and excited. And now I'm feeling more confident. So I wish I could have known all of these things last year when I spent the whole year. I think I had 3 clients in like 9 months, and I went, this is not working. I'm going to chuck the towel in. What am I going to do? But yeah, so I think if I could say to someone is just realise it's not going to be easy, persevere. And if you really are struggling, find someone who can help you, because often someone with more knowledge about business than you have and will guide you in the right direction.
Yes, exactly. I've talked a little bit about that on the show previously, because that's been my experience as well, where just having that person with the knowledge, with the experience to kind of, tell you when you're heading in the wrong direction, telling you when you need to just pull your finger out, doing all of those kinds of things, but also just supporting you and encouraging you as well, just to keep going on those, times when you really do feel a bit down. So, yes, I definitely think that's probably the most important thing to do when you're actually starting a business in this day and age, because there's so much to try and get your head around.
Yeah.
All right. So because I've sort of started off the show talking about self-care and you being a nutritionist, what would you say might be some helpful tips for people starting a business in terms of maintaining their health around the things that they're doing with their diet, or, what they're choosing to eat and that kind of thing? Are there any particular things that would be great to put in your diet to just help you as you go through, this transition?
Many of the things that people don't realise is that nature has provided the best quality food for thousands of years. So if we just get back to eating fresh fruit and vegetables, natural food, I often say to my clients that if it doesn't look like a plant, it's not food. If it comes in a packet and it looks at in some type of, that's not food. So fresh fruit and vegetables, especially, your leafy green vegetables, I always meant to my clients, eat the rainbow. So a variety of red, green, yellow, orange, all of the vegetables every day. Good. Don't be afraid to eat fruit. People will tell you don't eat fruit, it's full of sugar. Well, it is also full of fiber and vitamins and minerals and many bioactive ingredients. So bioactive are like chemicals in the plant that actually can interact directly with your genes and help them work properly. Make sure you're hydrated. Lots of water. Make sure it's filtered water, because tap water unfortunately is not healthy, full of toxic things like chlorine and fluoride and chemicals that are detrimental to your health. I don't get any of my clients or recommend avoiding any foods in particular. If people choose to be vegetarian, making sure that they're getting good quality plant protein, because protein is essential for your genes, for health, for everything in the body. One of the biggest things is sleep, making sure you're getting your 6 to 8 hours of good quality sleep a night, because that's when your body repairs and recharges and actually detoxifies. So it gets rid of a lot of the toxins at that time. And not feeling like, I read a book recently called Rushing Wound Syndrome, and it's probably it could be used to describe many people, or many women, but many business owners. We're so busy trying to do everything in our business. We're trying to do everything for our family. We never ever stop and do anything for ourselves. So taking, as you mentioned in the beginning, taking that time out to actually not do anything else, recharge. I'm like you, I love to sit and read. I find a lot of my relaxation is reading a book. I often take it in the bath, go and have a hot bath. Just go and sit out when it's nice and sunny outside. Take a cup of tea or a glass of water and go and sit outside. Enjoy the sunshine and just turn off your brain and don't worry about the business for a while, because it'll still be there when you go back into the office. But if you burn yourself out, all you do is chronic stress. Long term causes chronic illness, just as eating badly will do that. Chronic stress is one of the leading causes of chronic illness. So just take time out for you, meditation, relaxation, reading every day.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that's why I was talking about it, because of the impact of not caring for yourself long term. I mean, short term, it can kind of burn you out and take you away from having your business. But of course, long term, it's even much more of an impact. So we need to make sure that we're looking after ourselves first. So great advice, all of those things that I tell people as well. But I forgot about particularly the idea of, eating the rainbow as well. That's so important, isn't it, to get all of the different nutrients that you need?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, it's not all the different coloured vegetables have lots of different bioactives, lots of different vitamins and minerals in combination, and eating them all together, not only that they taste fantastic, is you're getting a whole range of nutrients that the body needs to function, and a whole range of nutrients and bioactives that function well. And that's a missing piece. That's why I call it the missing piece of the puzzle, because the doctors will tell you eat healthy, exercise, de-stress, sleep. But what if all of those things, something underlying is your genes, and if you're not quite got the right balance of all of those genes, just aren't going to work properly. You can't change them, but you can, like as I mentioned, you can change how they work, and that simply comes down to the food that's in your diet, and making sure what you're exposed to as far as the other thing that is really exposed to toxins on a daily basis, in water, in the air, from pesticides and food, even in fruit and vegetables, to a minimal extent in processed food full of colours and numbers, and in our personal care products, the chemicals in cleaning products, as I was exposed to, for a very long time, lead to a toxic build-up in the body, which leads to chronic illness. So, and if you are one of these people, because I do gene testing in my practice, what I often find is clients have issues in the detoxification pathways in their liver. And when they don't work properly, toxins build up even more. If you've got a good healthy, functioning liver, and you can detoxify all the things and your nutrients levels are great, that's fine. But if there's just one piece that's missing in any of in that puzzle, and if it's your genes, if it's your liver not functioning properly with lack of nutrients, the long-term result is chronic illness. I mean, many people in their 20s or 30s may not discover that until they get to 30, or for me, in my 30s and 40s. And that depends on what level of exposure. In Australia, one of the ways we deal with stress, and in business and in life, one of the ways it's socially acceptable to have that glass of wine, or those couple of glasses of wine. Oh, it's been a stressful day at the office, I'll just have a couple of glasses of wine. And sometimes that couple of glasses of wine will be 3 or 4 on a weekend. And the body has to detoxify. The liver has to detoxify all of those things. So alcohol, everything in moderation, but only in moderation if you know that your body's functioning properly. If your body's not, or your genes not functioning, none of those, anything that's toxic, you should just not be having at all. And because what it does is depletes the nutrients you need to deal with stress, that you need to build, make the neurotransmitters that make you happy and healthy. So it's a very complex but a very simple solution. Eat well, and look after yourself, and you'll be able to function well and you'll be healthy.
Yes. So yes, there's a lot to it, but it's also quite a simple process, as in going as natural as you possibly can, I think is kind of the key, isn't it?
Okay.
All right. So we're going to try and wrap up now with the question that I ask all of my guests, which is, what do you think the top 3 best beliefs are to have or to remove as you become a business owner?
Well, my belief is my biggest problem was fear of failure. So there's no such thing as failure. Failure is the first attempt in learning. That's what I fail means, first attempt in learning. So if you want to be, the old saying is try. Once you fail, just try again, or something my dad used to say. So just keep trying. Like, there is no such thing as failure. You'll make mistakes and you'll learn from them. The second one is there's no such thing as an expert. People know a lot of information, and you know a lot more than you do. And the third one is have belief in yourself, because you know what you know, and you can. And there are lots of people out there that will want to hear what you have to say.
Yes, excellent. That very good tips, definitely, and all of those kinds of things. So particularly the belief in yourself, I think, is so important, because that's where a lot of, you know, the decisions not to keep going, I think, come from people that I've talked to, where they just start to doubt themselves so much that kind of becomes like a barrier to them succeeding. So excellent
and if I could
advice.
say just one more thing,
Yes.
that don't be afraid of your competitors. There is enough work, enough business, and enough clients for everybody. You don't have to fear, oh my God, this person's got to get all the time. There's enough work out there for everybody. The right people that need your help will find you. You just have to believe that. It took me a long time to realize that if I just keep doing what I'm doing, working on myself, working on my business, putting myself out there and giving the information, providing the information for people to find, that eventually the ones that are meant to find you, that need your help, will find you.
Exactly. It's kind of about making sure that people can find you is really the key, isn't it? And that's where it's sort of that persistence. You make mistakes, you keep going, but as long as people can find you, then the ones who really need what you've got and understand your message will actually connect with you.
Yeah.
Very true. Thank you for that final word. So we'll kind of wrap it up now. It's been great talking to you. Kind of dropped in a little bit in and out with your sound, but hopefully people who have watched this or will come back and watch it after will be able to get to understand your message, because it's been great going through all of those different things. So thank you for joining me. It's been great to have you as a guest. And just remember, the Eating for Your Genes workshop, you can go and get your tickets to that. Go along. It would be great fun. So lots of things to learn and see. So something really enjoyable. All right. Thank you very much. I'm going to drop you out now, but thank you for joining me today.
No worries. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so hopefully you were able to get lots of great and inspiring information from Mary-Anne's story, but also from her knowledge. You could just see what she was talking about, just the wealth of knowledge that she's actually got. All right, so let's kind of wrap things up. So we've been talking quite a lot about self-care. So my challenge for you going into a new week is to actually take a few minutes before it actually starts to come up with your own couple of non-negotiable self-care habits that you want to actually put in place. Plan for how you're going to make sure that these things happen. How are you going to make them sacred so that people know not to intrude and try and stop you from doing them? How are you going to make them work best? What time will work? Can you create a routine that will actually make sure that they happen? This is going to be critical. So making them into a habit is probably the most important part of that whole thing. So please look after yourself. It is so important. And remember, eat the rainbow as well. And then if you would like to work with me, there are a number of different ways you can do that. So at the moment, I am running a Mind Reiki Kickstart program, which is specifically for people who want to reset on an emotional level, on a mindset level, where we kind of go through and have a process where you can release your stress, boost your mood, and just kind of get rid of some of those beliefs that might be holding you back from making the progress that you want. So if you're wanting to feel more positive and calm and balanced, then please write mind in the comments and I will get back to you with some more details about that. Otherwise, I have put the information about how you can contact me at One Life to Flourish, or to book in for a free discovery call if you'd like to explore other options. Now, next week, there will be a slight change to the time of making the leap. So it's going to be at 5:30 Adelaide time next week. Now, hopefully, I will also have a special guest. That's still to be confirmed. So I will let you know during the week if that's happening. And I hope you have a great week. Look after yourself, and I'll see you next week. Bye.